era of the traditional software engineer is officially ending. Forget what you know about tech boot camps. Forget the standard junior developer role. We are witnessing a massive seismic shift in Silicon Valley right now. The last 2 decades, coding required human hands on a keyboard. You learned syntax. You memorized algorithms. You spent countless hours debugging simple syntax errors on developer forums. That specific reality is completely dead. The next frontier of technology isn't about teaching humans to code faster. It is about removing the human from the raw coding process entirely. Enter the explosive age of the fully autonomous AI software engineer. This is not just a glorified autocomplete feature. We are strictly talking about advanced agentic systems. These agents can plan, write, execute, and debug entire complex software projects without any human intervention. And look exactly at what happened with the launch of Cognition Labs and their AI named Devin. It completely shocked the global tech industry. Devin demonstrated the ability to autonomously resolve complex GitHub open source issues in real time. It did not just write a generic snippet of code. It actively spun up a secure sandbox environment. It opened a headless web browser to read updated API documentation. It wrote the application code. It ran the tests. It found a critical bug. It read the error log. And finally, it fixed its own mistake. All while the human user simply sat back and watched the terminal output scroll by. This radically changes the fundamental economic equation of tech infrastructure. If an AI agent can execute routine engineering tasks at a fraction of the cost, the entry-level job market faces a reckoning. The technical barrier to building software is dropping to zero. Anyone with a logically structured prompt can now deploy highly complex applications. The global playing field leveling. The velocity of modern software creation is about to go absolutely exponential. To fully understand this paradigm shift, we must aggressively break down the underlying tech. How exactly did we get from simple conversational chatbots to autonomous engineering agents? The secret heavily relies on agentic loops and direct tool integration. Early language models like GPT-3 and standard GitHub Copilot were entirely passive systems. They waited patiently for a human to type a prompt. Then, they simply predicted the next plausible line of text. They were brilliant statistical prediction engines, but they severely lacked independent agency. The new generation of cutting-edge AI models operates on a radically different architecture. They utilize an advanced methodology called iterative scaffolding. When a new agent receives a complex user prompt, it does not just spit out a giant wall of raw code. Instead, it systematically breaks the massive project down into a step-by-step implementation plan, and it generates structured task lists. It then executes those tasks sequentially. Crucially, these new agents have direct access to a completely functional operating system. They can run bash commands directly in a remote Linux terminal. They can execute raw Python scripts. They can read and write directly to the local file system. If an agent suddenly needs a specific software library, it will literally run a package manager command like npm or pip to independently install it. If it encounters a complex runtime bug, it will autonomously open a web browser. It will search the latest official documentation. It will parse the found text and actively apply the newfound knowledge to repair the codebase. This is a continuous, relentless feedback of action, observation, and correction. It explicitly mimics the exact cognitive workflow of a senior human developer debugging a server issue. This breakthrough also relies heavily on massive context windows. Modern AI models can now hold millions of tokens in active memory. They can read your entire application repository at once, instantly understand the deep dependencies, the folder architecture, and the specific coding style guidelines of your project. They are not writing isolated helper functions anymore. They are orchestrating and deploying entire software systems. We do not need to guess about the actual performance of these incoming models. Hard data speaks for itself. To accurately measure the true capability of automated software engineering, the global tech industry relies on a rigorous standardized benchmark known as SWE-bench. SWE-bench aggressively evaluates an AI model's raw ability to independently solve highly complex software engineering problems pulled directly from real-world GitHub repositories. This isn't basic computer science trivia found in a college textbook. These are nasty, complex, multi-file integration bugs found in major production Python libraries like Django and scikit-learn. The model is given a raw codebase, a brief issue description, and absolutely no additional hints. It must locate the exact files, write the necessary patch, and pass invisible unit tests on the first try. And in just a short year ago, the absolute best AI performance on SWE-bench hovered around a dismal 2%. They were virtually useless for commercial production environment. But the current advanced generation of agentic models completely shattered that low. They are now hitting successful resolution rates well over 40% on the most difficult testing tier. That is an explosive 20-fold increase core capability in less than 12 short calendar months. Now, closely consider the brutal math of corporate software engineering. Let's say a human junior engineer takes 2 full days, costs roughly $500 to fix a mid-level backend bug. An autonomous agent can resolve that exact same issue in 5 short minutes, utilizing less than 50 cents in total compute power. The velocity and the extreme cost efficiency are undeniably terrifying for traditional heavy corporate structures. Major tech companies are already quietly integrating these agents to massively slash their outsourced engineering budgets. Why pay an external firm thousands of hours for boilerplate database migration when a cheap cluster of compute nodes can do the precise job overnight flawlessly? So, what exactly happens to the millions of human developers currently sitting in office cubicles? They do not disappear, but their daily technical workflow completely and fundamentally transforms. Writing standard code syntax will very soon become a highly niche, almost artisanal human skill. The modern software engineer is rapidly evolving from a blue-collar digital mechanic writing manual loops into a high-level visionary systems architect. You are no longer manually laying individual bricks. You are drawing the master architectural blueprints and aggressively managing an army of infinite, tireless robotic builders. The primary core competency will shift aggressively from memorizing complex Python syntax to mastering advanced technical prompt engineering. The unique ability to clearly articulate complex system requirements in precise, unambiguous plain will quickly be the most valuable technical skill on the entire planet. And engineers of the very near future will spend the vast majority of their working time reviewing broad system architecture, enforcing strict military-grade security boundaries, and designing incredibly robust testing frameworks. The Agentic AI will rapidly do 80% of the grueling manual typing and refactoring. The human professional acts strictly as the final editor, the creative director, and the ultimate safety backstop. This massive shift also means the legendary idea of a one-person unicorn startup is finally becoming a highly tangible, everyday reality. A single visionary solo founder with deep domain expertise can now effectively command the equivalent technical output of a 50-person elite engineering team. They can independently build the interactive front-end interface, spin up the secure backend database, deploy scalable cloud servers, and heavily manage external API integrations directly from their laptop over a single weekend. The sheer scale and speed of structural digital innovation will rapidly accelerate far beyond we have ever experienced in modern human history. The very definition of a digital builder is fundamentally expanding forever. The ultimate question moving forward isn't whether AI software engineers will successfully replace human developers. The only critical question is whether you personally will adapt fast enough to use them effectively. We are permanently moving from an era of tedious hand coding to an exciting era of prompt-driven system orchestration. Those developers who stubbornly cling to the old ways of manually debugging basic syntax errors will inevitably be left far behind. But those builders who quickly learn to direct these powerful new AI agents will instantly multiply their own productivity by a factor of 10 or vastly more. The technical barrier to entry for rapidly building world-changing software has never been lower in recorded history. If you simply have a crystal-clear vision and the rare ability to systematically break down complex logic problems, the new generation of autonomous AI developers will happily build it for you. Your primary job is quickly shifting away from writing the raw code to strictly deciding exactly what valuable features should be built next. And this is the raw cutting edge of deep tech innovation, and things around here are moving blazingly fast. If you truly want to successfully navigate this massive structural paradigm shift and firmly ahead of the upcoming digital curve, you desperately need to be deeply informed. That is exactly where NeonSync AI comes into play. We continuously and aggressively filter the deafening daily noise of Silicon Valley to bring you the massive high-value signal you truly need. Every single week, we completely break down the newest AI frameworks, the most powerful rising agentic tools, and the rapidly shifting economic reality of this global digital transformation. Do not let the digital future happen you. Actively stand up and build it yourself. Strongly hit that subscribe button right now. Instantly activate the red notification bell to stay permanently updated on the Vanguard. Share this incredibly crucial video today with a traditional developer friend who urgently needs to securely see the incoming automated future. Let's collaboratively build the automated technical future together, one highly dense minute at a time. Stay far ahead of the pack, and we will see you directly in the very next explosive episode.